Hello, everyone. Glad to see that you are back for this 9th day of the Red Letter Challenge. I hope that hasn't been too challenging for you so far, and I hope that it's actually helped bring you closer to God in the reading of your Bible and spending time in prayer. And that's what this study is all about. That's what this challenge is all about, to challenge ourselves to be closer to God in our daily lives. This might sound like a pastor's made-up illustration to make a point about a lesson, but it's not. I'm really tired today. Really tired. I've spent most of the day sitting in front of the computer, putting together worship services and a sermon and graphics for our online worship service for this Sunday. I've had very little break time. I didn't get to run home for lunch until nearly 2 o'clock when I usually eat by noon, and I get really grumpy and cranky if I don't eat by noon. But I really think my day has gone this way to remind me about how important this lesson will be today. For the title of this lesson is Get Some Rest. How appropriate. So let's dig in. Michael Zigarelli is an associate professor at Charleston Southern School of Business. And he polled 20,000 Christians of all ages from 139 different countries about the busyness in their lives and how it affects their relationship with God. His report states the obvious. We are busy people. In fact, almost 60% of Christians around the world say that their hectic lives prevent them from spending time with God. Even more interestingly, that pastors are more likely to say that they often rush from task to task, beating out business owners, lawyers, teachers, and salespeople. Writing as a pastor, Zigarelli says, but maybe a study like this will wake some of us up to a reality. We, of all people, must find a way to place the Lord above every urgent need, every pressing appointment, and every desperate cry. You probably don't need a Bible study or a poll to tell you that we truly are busy people. It's hard for us to spend time with God. We just don't always seem to have the time. But when we fill our schedules every minute of the day, every day of the week, we tend to lose focus on what is important. We get wrapped up in things that just aren't important and just don't matter. I have been an ordained pastor for nearly 10 and a half years now. In the 6 years prior to my ordination, I was preparing for ordination. For the first 2 years of those, I was serving the church as a principal of our day school. I was making sure that worship took place on Sundays, and I taught confirmation classes. But during those first 2 years, I also had one of the coolest jobs on the planet as a scoreboard operator at Giant Stadium and a video operator at Continental Airlines Arena. Those 2 jobs were great. I was able to meet a bunch of interesting people. I was able to be a part of a professional sports presentation team, and I learned so much about the industry, and I had tons and tons of fun. But when it was time to enter the seminary training, the secondary job just had to go. I had a choice to make, and while I would miss the fun of living the sporting life, there was another calling to follow. My point is, not everyone is called to go to seminary and become a pastor. But Jesus does call everyone to follow him, and he truly does want to be the top priority in all of our lives. We fill our lives with interesting and even important things, but fail to create time for Jesus, the most important thing. Sometimes we just need to say no to many good things so that we can say yes to the best thing. What's amazing is that we spend time, money, and energy on things that will all let us down. But Jesus will never fail us. He will never leave us or forsake us, even when we are focused on other things. Jesus wants us to make him the most important thing in our lives. In fact, you will see in your homework for this session that in Luke chapter 14, he demands to be our top priority. We need to get serious about spending quality time with God, even in times of solitude when it's just us and God. Jesus modeled this. Before he made the difficult decision of choosing his 12 disciples, the Bible said that he went up to a mountainside and prayed through the night. Many times, Jesus sought out quiet places to be where he could be alone with God. This is one area that Christians and all people for that matter struggle, finding quiet time to be with God, finding solitude where it's just you and God. So, can you guess what your homework is today? First, read Luke chapter 14, verses 25 through 33. Again, that's Luke chapter 14, don't want to confuse you, verses 25 to 33, knowing that this can be a very awkward story. Jesus tells us to hate our families. He really does. But his point is that if you want to follow him, he has to be number one. The second part of the homework is to find some solitude for 30 minutes or longer if you want to take advantage of that homework assignment. Be by yourself with God. Pray to him using the ACTS acronym. Hard to say. The ACTS acronym. Speak with him. Listen to him. And he will bless your time together. That is a guarantee. Have a great day. We'll talk to you again soon.